Welcome to episode 139 of the Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces podcast. I'm Stephen Rothberg. I'm the founder of College Recruiter job search site. Looking forward to today's conversation. For those outside the US, you might not know it, but it is our nation's 250th anniversary this year. And we have a guest who is joining us from one of our nation's earliest capitals. But before we get to that, Mr. Philadelphia, why don't I hand it off to Mr. Orlando? Peter, good to see you.
I've never been called Mr. Orlando before in my life, but good to see you too. I'm Peter Zollman, founder of the AIM Group. I looked across the bottom of the screen and I see founder, and founding principal. I should just call myself founder. So
Oh,
we're all
that's
founders. And today with us, we have Len Ward, the founder of Comexis, and he's going to tell us first what Comexis is, and then we're going to talk about AI and job boards and recruiting and employees and all that good stuff. So, Len, take it away from Philly.
Great.
Philly
Thanks for having me. And just so you know, Comexis we help companies go from search and retrieve to solve my problem, which is moving from search and retrieve to the AI world to solve my problem.
sounds great. AI has become the buzzword in recruitment these days. AI applies, AI sort and hire, AI everything. And it's becoming both a wonderful tool and a pain in the neck. I mean, it's awful. How can job boards use it for the greater good beyond just sorting and matching candidates? Because I think everybody knows that's something they do. How do they do it?
I think one of the things that can happen, or what you can do on a job board, is if I'm listening to your question right, is if there is a recruiter on there or if there's an applicant on there, I think being more interactive with it and helping people solve their problems. Like if they say, I like to do this, I like to do that, like it can actually put a job in front of them and say, this is something you might want to take a look at. Or if it's a recruiter, it can say, this is the type of candidate we're looking for, and it can pull it back up rather than just trying to have like a human try to screen things or an automated software try to screen things. I think if you were able, actually let you interact with it, almost like an LLM, like ChatGPT, I think that's where you can improve it because that's how we're moving in a society where we like to interact with things. That's like, here's my problem, or this is what I'm looking for. Give me my immediate answer. So if that answered your question properly, I think that's how you can improve those boards.
I think we've been like recording now for maybe under a minute, and I think I've heard the word answer
Mhm.
like 87 times.
Right.
It's a theme. When I've gone to your site, the emails that we traded, discussion in the green room, that's definitely a word that I hear you say a lot. And you also reference search and retrieve.
Yes.
Tell me the difference between the 2.
So for the last 25 years, most businesses and every single thing we've done worldwide when it comes to economics has been search and retrieve. You basically go in, identify your problem, or you go in and you're thinking about a solution, or you're thinking about whatever it may be in business. You search Google, you search your CRM, all the information comes back to you. You digest blogs, you digest video, you digest notes on a CRM, and then you try to make a decision based upon what you have in front of you. Every business has been built like that. Now, with AI, you put your problem in there, it harnesses all information immediately and gives you an answer, which is about 99.9%. Some people don't like to hear that, but it's true. 99.9% accurate. So it's a faster way to digest information and get to your problem solution immediately. And it's a huge fundamental shift in businesses where, again, if you think about a salesperson, they're going out, right? And or somebody's going to put a lead in, then somebody's got a salesperson takes a look at the lead and they're going through everything and trying to see, okay, well, this is what your problem could be, and this is how we're going to solve it. People don't expect it anymore. They want to come to your website, come to whatever it may be, and say, here's my problem. I expect an immediate answer. So that whole process of how we sell, the process of how we educate, the process of how we do anything has always been built on search and retrieve. Now you have to be 100% ready to solve a problem absolutely immediately with near 100% accuracy.
But realistically, AI can't necessarily do that all the time because there isn't one answer. You can't say out of 10,000 or a million candidates, this is the candidate. You can say, here are 6 or 12 or 20 or 30 who are excellent candidates, but you can't say this is the one candidate. And at the same time, candidates are applying to tens, hundreds, thousands of jobs,
Mhm.
just flooding the dickens out of all of the systems, all of the systems, ATSs, all of the systems. So there isn't one answer. How do we get towards the one answer?
There will be one answer as it learns. As it continues to learn the candidates you're picking, as you continue, and then it basically has the information of the candidates that you've placed that are staying in a job longer based upon the selections that it's given you. So it's going to start with 6 to 12 candidates initially, and then it's going to follow their trends all the way through the workplace for how long they've stayed, success rates, promotions, and all of that. You're going to keep feeding this information into these AI platforms. And then what's going to happen is going to get more and more intelligent, and it's going to now bring it down to 3 to 6. And in about 18 months or 2 years' time, it's going to bring down to 1 or 2. And in about 2 years' time, it's going to say, bingo, this is the candidate you want. We will get there. We're moving towards that now. The only thing that will separate it is when you actually have the human interaction. And that is where I tell people where everyone's like, well, humans are going to be gone. No, they're not. At the end of the day, it's going to be you and me from across the table. And you're going to say, do I like Len or not like Len? Do I think my clients will like Len or not like Len? And that's what the ultimate decision will be. And even that data will be recorded because all rooms will be AI recorded and it'll harness that data and say, this is the type of personality we're looking at. So yes, that is the one thing I would say within short amount of time, AI will be able to nail a candidate pretty quickly.
So when you say that humans will not be gone, I think we can all agree that there would be some humans that we wish would be gone. But that's a topic for a different podcast.
Sure.
Probably more of a political one.
Yeah.
Maybe a sports one, depending if you're like an
Yeah.
Eagles fan or not.
Yeah,
But
we can get rid of the Dallas fans right away. But anyway, go ahead.
bingo. There you go. I think we can all agree on that. Okay, so I'm an owner of a job board, nowhere near as big as, the Indeeds and the LinkedIn's, but a lot bigger than like literally most job boards, which are kind of like part-time endeavors from people, one person in their basement. Nothing wrong with those, but it's just a different kind of game. If we're looking to invest in AI to move from search and retrieve to answers,
Mhm.
do we start on the candidate side for the candidate experience? Do we start on the employer experience? Because our industry has sites in our category are cash strapped. It's not like we can just say, oh, just throw $10 million at something and do it all at once. What do we prioritize? What comes first?
I think it's not even which one to prioritize first. I think to me, one of the things I come back to is organizing your data. So whatever data you may have is the very first thing you want to do. So go in and it's very simple. It's just a data room. And a data room could be a Dropbox room. It could be a Google Drive. It could be whatever if you have an IT company or whoever you want to talk to, wherever you can store data. And then you can lay an LLM on top. An LLM is a large language model. That's ChatGPT, that's Claude, that's Gemini and Grok and so forth. And have it start interacting with that data. And what you can do is start asking questions, like maybe create a data room for employees, candidates, and then create a data room for companies, and see what's coming back, what answers it's coming back, and what you think would be better to kind of launch first. You could actually do it simultaneously. So rather than which one, I guess I would reframe the answer and say, I would rather you build a data room. So now we have ideal candidates that you're looking for, and so forth. And these are the types of companies, what they're looking for. And if that makes sense, that's how I would start data room, organizing and gathering your data.
And how can employers, companies slash job boards use AI to overcome the AI generated problem of bazillions of resumes, CVs, applications, all coming in the second they post an opening?
So we'll put a little tinfoil hat on for you. This is where we're moving toward. We're very close to what's called agent to agent marketing, agent to agent interactions. So what you're going to start seeing these companies do is a bit of a forecast for you is the company, we'll call it John's company, right? John's corporation is going to have an agent, and that agent's entire job is just to automatically shift through or sift through every single resume that's coming in. Indeed or whatever one it may be, the college recruiter, whatever it may be, is going to have their own board. They're going to have their own agent, and they're going to start putting agents in front of you. What's going to happen are these two agents are going to interact with no human action whatsoever. They're both going to communicate and talk, even though every single thing is AI, and they're going to look through everything. And then this agent's going to pass over 6 candidates. That agent's going to run through those 6 candidates and say, "All right, we want you to interview these 3 candidates." So that the agent to agent is coming, and the person who's manually sorting through stuff, that's 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 almost nearly wrapped up. That's within the next 18 months, that'll be gone.
There's a lot of legislation coming down, particularly in the hiring area regarding AI and the ability of job boards and employers to use AI, both in Europe and in the States, to audit what the AI does, which right now seems to be a bit of a black box,
Mhm.
and to determine, how they're avoiding bias, avoiding difficult issues, and still producing the right candidates. How do you think that is going to affect use of AI?
It's gonna affect it dramatically. I've always been long in the camp, and this doesn't mean I'm literally as independent as it gets when it comes to politics. I think we're gonna move to a part in our country where you're gonna be hired based upon what you can do. That's just it. And I think AI is going to look through that and say, we have to hire the best available candidate for a business because jobs may get a little scarce. Business may get a little scarce. I am not saying that we should be discriminatory in any capacity because that's wrong. I am not saying that we should not hire candidates based upon certain things. But as the business world gets a little tighter, and as jobs may get a little tighter, I think we're going to start looking at the world of we're going to hire based upon what this person could do, not other factors. I know that may kind of veer off a little bit, be a little controversial, and I don't mean it to be. I just think that if you look at where business is headed, less jobs, less stream, it's going to be we got to hire the best available candidate. Now, can there be layers put in because we are making sure that our diversity is right at companies, which I do believe in, and there's certain things that we have to keep in place. Yes, you can have AI go in there and do that. Um, Kind of a minefield I'm walking through right there. I'm just more speaking straight business with no political, leaning in any capacity. I just think that that's probably where we're going to be headed with AI and screening candidates.
Stephen, we are just about out of time. You get the last question and the wrap up today. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. I'm glad because I have one. Okay. I'm a job board owner in the US, Asia, Europe, whatever. I'm talking to you, I become a client, and I say to you, now that you understand my business, what is the one thing that scares you the most for my business when it comes to AI? What should I, as a job board owner, a job board leader, if I'm going to be like up at night worried about something, what would that thing be?
If you're a large job board owner, I think, and you are employing hundreds of people, whatever it may be, the 1 to 2 person shop is going to take you down because the way AI can be built,
Hmm.
way AI can be systematically developed, you are now creating hundreds upon thousands of agents that are working 24/7 with no days off and no holidays. Your company moves like an aircraft carrier in a harbor where small 1 to 2 person shops can now move quickly. And you are not going to be able to compete with the smaller company because you have an overhead that you have to take care of payment wise. They don't have an overhead. They're also going to be able to solve problems much faster. So you need to completely rethink your model of any way and every way in which you're running your business. And it should keep you up at night. Because your competitor, if you're Indeed and you're looking at Monster, I don't even Monster Store as your competitor or whoever it may be, that's not your competitor. Jenny and John shop in the garage, that's your competitor. And that's the one with AI. That's the one where you're going to have a problem.
Brilliant use of a military analogy. I had a beer the other day with somebody in our industry, and he kind of said this sort of somewhat same thing is that the biggest, oldest sites are like battleships, and the newest ones that are being built that nobody's ever heard of are like drones.
You got bingo.
And
Bingo.
if you look at the Ukraine war, the drones are winning. The tanks and the battleships are losing.
They don't work anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Hey, and the drones have been winning on this podcast too, Stephen. Don't know what that means, where it came from. But
Who knows?
on that note,
Len,
we
thank you
are
so much.
over
Thank you.
time, so we will wrap up here. Thank you, Len. Stephen, as always, a pleasure.
And
Thank you.
and happy birthday, America.